Hey there, and welcome to the Girl Means Business podcast, the show where we're all about helping you feel confident both as a mom and a business owner. I'm your host, Kendra Swalls, mom of two, former teacher, and full-time photographer and business coach. Each week, we'll discuss the challenges, success, and secrets that make you say, I can do this, because you absolutely can. So pop in those earbuds, grab your favorite snack, and let's get ready, because this girl means business. Hey there, and welcome to the Girl Means Business podcast. Today has been one of those days where I feel like everything is against me, but I'm here, I'm doing it anyway. So this morning, I sat down, I have a completely open calendar today. So I was like, I'm going to batch record so many episodes. I'm going to knock them out. I've got all my outlines. I've got all my topics. I am good to go. I sat down, I pulled my microphone towards me. So I have my microphone on what's called like a boom arm. So it's on like a tripod, and then it has like a T-bar that goes across the top the microphone's on, so I can like move it out of the way or pull it towards me or adjust it as needed. I went to go pull it towards me and the whole thing snapped off. Like the metal broke in half and my microphone just like fell to the ground. So I am now going rogue. I just have my microphone resting on a stand in front of me on a table, and we're making it work because I feel like if I hold it, it's going to move around too much and make too much noise, and I don't want to do that. The other thing was, once I got the microphone situation figured out, I went to go pull in my like intro music and audio into this episode, the first one I'm recording today, and it's gone. Like completely vanished from my computer. I don't know what happened. In fact, I had a whole folder of like GarageBand templates because I do all my recording and editing in GarageBand, and they're all gone. So I don't know where they've gone. I don't know how to find them. So I've had to just kind of make do. I had to pull some other audio and clip out the intro. It was a whole thing. We're making it work. That is the topic of the day, is we are making this thing work. This is just evidence that you don't have to have everything perfect before you just start doing the thing, because Lord knows this is not a perfect recording setting or scenario, but I'm rolling with it and we're going to make it work. The funny thing is I'm wearing a sweatshirt today that says, I'm fine, it's fine, everything is fine. And it's a very perfect, like, little just, smiley face on all the things that have been happening today. It's like, I should have known this was going to be the day when I put this shirt on in the first place. Anyway, I just thought I wanted to share that little behind the scenes craziness of what's going on as I'm recording this episode for you today. Okay, let's get into our topic. We are talking today about AI tools. And I know that if you're like me, AI is still something that seems a little out there. Like you're not quite sure what we're doing with AI. You're not quite sure how AI can really work in your business, other than what we've all seen like with ChatGPT. And we'll get into ChatGPT today too. But what I wanted to kind of go through today is 10 like AI tools that your small business can be using to make your life so much easier. Some of these tools are ones that I'm currently using in my business. Some are ones that I don't necessarily have a need for, but other small businesses have been using them, and or people that I know have been using them with tons and tons of success. And so I want to kind of use this episode as a way to dispel some of the hesitation around using AI in our business. One thing that I have seen that I think might be part of the culprit, and maybe this just comes from being in the photography world, but I know when Adobe came out with like their generative fill AI feature on Photoshop, I saw all these photographers jumping on board, and they were adding these crazy backgrounds and beautiful scenery, or they were like changing someone's outfit in the photo. And it seemed like this magical unicorn thing that had been created. What's funny to me now is that I'm seeing a lot of people posting these funny things about like, yeah, AI is going to do it. And then it's like these horribly AI generated images or edits and all this kind of stuff. So I think for a lot of us who are new to the AI world. We're just kind of dipping our toe in it a little bit at a time, like, oh, let's just see how this feels. And then we'll maybe like put our whole foot in, but we're not going all in the deep end yet. I wanted to take this opportunity to give you some ways that you can just dip your toe in, just get started with AI in your business and feel like it's something that you can actually utilize without it being this big, overwhelming thing. So I have come up with a list of 10 AI tools that you can use in your business. Again, some of these are ones that I'm currently using. Some of them are ones that I know people that are using them and they swear by them, they love them. And there's a lot of probably tools that you're already using that have an AI feature that you may or may not even know exist. So, a perfect example of this, and these are two that are not on my list for today, they're just kind of little bonus ones, is two tools that I currently use is my client management system Honeybook and my podcast platform Buzzsprout. Both of these have come out with AI features. So in Honeybook, they have come up with an AI response tool. So basically, if I get someone who inquires for my photography business and they say, I'm interested in a branding session, they fill out my contact form, it comes in through Honeybook. Honeybook will then give me a little pop-up that says, hey, we can create an AI response based on your information that we've kind of collected from your from what you've entered into your client management system and the contact information that this person gave us to generate a response email. And I have a lot of templates that are already kind of set up, but I tried it once or twice. It's actually pretty good. Now, I would say it's not necessarily going to replace my preset templates I already have, but I might use it to kind of update some of my templates that are a little bit out of date or that I haven't really like spruced up in a while. The other platform I mentioned was Buzzsprout. So this is where I upload all of my podcast episodes to, and then they distribute them out to all my platforms. And what they have added in is a new feature called Co-host AI. And what this does is when I upload my audio file, it will put the audio file through the Co-host AI process. It gives me optimized show like titles, episode titles, show notes, transcripts, all that kind of good stuff to help me create titles and show notes that are a little more optimized or using specific keywords based on the content that is in that audio file. So those are two like platforms that I already use in my business that are incorporating some AI technology into what they're doing. And I do think we're going to see a lot more of these platforms, including that. It's one of those things kind of like when the internet came along and businesses started jumping on the idea of creating websites. If you were the business who was holding out and saying, I'm not going to create a website, I don't understand it, I don't know why I would need it, you're going to get kind of left behind. So a lot of these companies are saying, we need to jump on this AI piece, this AI technology, because it is kind of the future of where things are going and where businesses are going. And to that same idea, your business also needs to grow with the times. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go all in on AI. Again, this episode is just to help you kind of dip your toes in the water. But I do think that these are some things that other businesses are going to start using that are going to give them a little bit of a competitive edge versus the one who's kind of the holdout going, I don't need to use AI. I don't need to use technology. I'm going to kind of stick with what I've been doing. It may work for a while, but eventually it's going to be that these other people are so far ahead of you that it's going to be hard to catch up. So again, the whole purpose of this episode is to give you some ways to just kind of start slowly getting into the AI universe. All right, so let's get to the 10 tools. Now, the first one is one we've all heard of, ChatGPT. I actually did an entire episode on this where I walked you through how I use ChatGPT to create content, like 5 pieces of content in like less than 5 minutes. It was amazing. And ChatGPT is kind of what's considered like the OG of mainstream AI use. This was kind of the first big platform where people were like, wow, look what AI can do. It can generate all this content. The way that ChatGPT works, if you've never used it, is you can log in. It's completely free. They do have a paid version, but you don't need the paid version in order to access really great content through there. So you go in and you give ChatGPT a prompt. So let's say that you are wanting to create a social media post. Let's say a Facebook post for the launch of your new service. So you're adding a new service to your business. You're wanting to create a Facebook post to announce it. You could go into ChatGPT. You can give it a prompt. You can say, create a Facebook post to help promote and build excitement around this new product launch. And then you can enter in some of the information about the product or the service, the launch date, all the things. You can even tell it, like, I want this to feel really exciting and attention grabbing, but I also want it to be casual and conversational. And it's going to create the content for you. And then you can go in and you can ask it to revise, or you can take it and kind of revise it on your own. So ChatGPT has always kind of been the content creation AI piece. And a lot of people, a lot of you listening have probably already been using it. If you have been using it and you're like, oh, doesn't make any sense, it's not sounding like me at all, then I highly encourage you to play around with it a little bit more, because with ChatGPT, it all comes down to the prompt. The response it's going to give you is only as good as the prompt you give it. The more information you can give it, the better. One really quick tip I'll give for making the most of ChatGPT, and this is something that has really revolutionized how I use it and the type of responses that I'm getting. So when you go into ChatGPT, you'll notice that, like, your screen comes up, and on the left-hand side, you have like a black panel, and that has all of your previous threads. So any prompt you've given ChatGPT, it keeps it on these little like left-hand side threads. Your main screen gives you the little box where you start typing your prompt. So a lot of times people go in and they just start typing a prompt into that empty box, and then they are generating for whatever the prompt was. Here's what you need to do instead. Click on the left-hand side where it says create new prompt, or just you can start typing into the box. But you want to tell GPT, I am going to ask you to create content for my business. Please ask me 10 to 15 questions about my business that will help you create content for my products and services. It will give you a list of 10 to 15, or you can ask for 20, however deep you want to go. Then you're going to copy those questions, put them in a Google Doc, answer those questions as thoroughly as possible. Those questions are going to range from things like, what are your, brand style? What are your products and services you offer? What sets you apart from other people in your industry? You're going to answer all those. You're going to paste them back into ChatGPT in the same thread. And then what you've now done is you've created basically brand assets. So you've created one thread where ChatGPT has a really deep knowledge of your brand. So then every single time you need content for that brand, you ask it in that same thread. You don't start a new thread, you ask it in that same thread. It's kind of like when you go into Canva and you can save your brand like logo and colors and fonts. And then when you're ready to create like images, you have those colors and fonts available to you. It's the same thing. It's just the AI chat version of that. So that is one way to really make sure that you're using ChatGPT to its fullest. Okay, that's only number one. Let's keep moving because we have 9 more to go through. Number 2 is the Canva Magic Studio. This is another example of one of those platforms you are probably already using that has added an AI feature. Now, the Magic Studio uses some of the same tools that you may have already been using, like background remover and things like that. But it will also allow you to create graphics out of text. So if you go and you say, I need an image of a cat sitting in a chair with a party hat on, it's going to create a graphic with a cat sitting in a chair with a party hat on. So you can use it to kind of create these, graphics. Now, they're not going to be like stock image type photos. If that's more your brand, then that's probably isn't a feature for you. But if you just need like actual graphics that match what you're looking for, it can create that. They also have an AI write. So if you need help with creating like headlines and catchy titles and phrases to put onto your graphics, the AI write piece can help with that as well inside of the Canva Magic Studio. Side note, I will have all of these and their links down in the show notes. Some of them are going to be affiliate links. So like the Canva Magic Studio, I am a Canva partner. And so when you click on that, it will take you to my partner link. Just know that if you already have a Canva account, you don't need to worry about that. But just so you know, the links down below, not all of them are affiliates, but some of them are. Number 3 is a new tool that I just recently started using, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's called Swell.ai. It is perfect for anyone who does podcasting or any kind of audio format or video. So if you create YouTube videos or long format videos, this is great. What you do is you upload your content, your video, your audio. You can also, if it's a podcast, you can link your podcast RSS feed to this platform, and it will automatically import like your most recent episodes. You can click on the episode, or like I said, you can upload your audio or your video, and then it's going to create all of this content for you. It's going to create transcripts. It's going to pull clips from your audio or your video that it thinks might be really good for, YouTube Shorts or headline, or like what are those called? The audio files that you put on like Instagram and Facebook. It's going to create show notes, articles, summaries, titles, social media posts, mid-roll ads, scripts. It gives you timestamps for all your audio and your video. I mean, there's so much you can do. Those are automatically done, but then you can also, again, kind of like ChatGPT, you can say, use this audio file to create a 500-word blog post, and it will do that for you. So this is a really, really cool tool if you are using audio or video within your business. All right, number 4 is another new one I've come across, and I haven't really used this one myself, but I was told about it from someone who does like graphic design and web design. It's called Looka, Looka, and it is a AI generative logo designing platform. Now, it is free to enter your information and get logo designs. You pay for them when you download your assets. What's really cool about it is you go in and it's going to start asking you questions about your brand. It's going to ask you like, what is the name of your company? What is the industry your company is in? It's going to give you examples of other logos, and you choose the ones that you like, so that it kind of gets an idea of like what style you're interested in. And then it's going to ask you things like, what colors do you like? No, I can't remember. It asks like 4 or 5 different questions. And then it's going to give you sample logos using your brand colors, using your name, your industry, all that kind of stuff. And you can go through and you can choose ones that you like. You can, edit them. You can have, if you don't like the ones they give you, you can go back and start again. And then you can download those logos. You can use them wherever you want. They also have options for uploading them to like t-shirts and business cards, like showing you how your logo looks in all these different places. So if you are looking for a rebrand, if you do graphic design, if you do client work, this would be a really cool tool to start implementing that's going to give you some really great options for creating logos. Okay, number 5 is for anyone who does long form video. So if you do YouTube videos and you are irritated by the fact that you also need to be doing like YouTube shorts, or if you create long form videos and you want to create like reels and TikToks from them, this is called Too Short, like the number 2 short.ai. You can upload your long form videos, and then it will assess the video and create clips that are formatted for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. It uses some really cool features. So things like face tracking. So it's going to make sure that when it clips the video that your face is always in frame, or the face of whoever's in the video is always in frame. It's going to give you like, you can choose kind of, if I have two people that I'm interviewing, I can have it on like a split screen. How zoomed in do you want it to be? Like you can kind of go in and edit a lot of it too, but it will pull for a lot of that for you. And again, you can add in your branding and it will, like add all the branding into it as well. They do have a free option. You can test it out. You get, I think, up to 30 minutes of content for that. And then I think beyond that, if you decide to start using it more and more, it's about $10 a month.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you have been listening to the Girl Means Business podcast for any amount of time, then you know my love of email marketing runs deep. Not only is it a great way to generate new leads, but it's one of the most effective methods for nurturing warm leads and turning them into sales. Now, over the years, I've tested several email platforms, and my favorite by far is Flowdesk. Not only do they make email marketing simple and easy, even for the technically challenged, but they have everything you need to create stunning emails, capture leads, make sales, and automate the entire process, giving you time back in your busy day. And the cherry on top is you're only charged one flat fee no matter how many subscribers you have. So while other platforms will increase your price when you go over your pricing tier limit, Flowdesk has no price increases or hidden fees. If you're ready to give Flowdesk a try, click the link below in the show notes to save 50% off your first year. Let Flowdesk help you design emails people will love. Click the link below and check it out. I have a feeling you're going to love it just as much as I do. So that's a really cool one as well. Number 6, this one is really awesome. And I don't use this a lot because I don't use PDFs in my business a ton. But if you are someone who you use or you work with clients who are sending you PDF files or you just need like an easy way to kind of get PDF summaries, it's called PDF.ai, simple enough. And what it does is you can upload a PDF document and then you can basically chat GPT whatever you need for that document. So they have a demo you can go and try out. When you pull it up, it gives you some like 9-page Bitcoin PDF. But then on the right-hand side, you can go in and you can say things like, create a 2-paragraph summary of this entire PDF. Or can you take the introduction and simplify it down to 3 sentences? Can you create an outline of this PDF? What does this term inside the PDF mean? It's basically like being able to take the PDF and have the person who wrote it like redo all of these things for you. So if you're someone who like has to go through PDF files and write summaries or turn them into articles, or like shortened articles or blog posts, this is a really, really cool tool. Again, like I said, I don't really have a need for it in my business, but I know people who are like in the legal industry and they swear by this. Okay, number 7 is a really fun one. And honestly, everybody needs to be trying this one. So this one is called Answer Socrates. It is similar to if you've ever used the website Answer the Public, where you enter in like a phrase or a topic, and it gives you kind of this diagram of all these questions that are around that topic. It's very similar to that. It's just formatted in a different way. So what it does, it actually takes all the questions that people are asking in that Google search bar. So it's like if someone goes into Google and they, type in a question, a search, it's taking all of that data and it's giving you the most popular questions being asked. In this case, you want to be kind of a little more general. So here's how you can use it. Let's say that you are in the wedding industry. You're a wedding photographer, planner, a wedding venue, a florist, a makeup artist, whatever. And so you're like, I need content ideas. I need things to talk about that are not just about like what I do in the wedding industry. So you might want to create content around just wedding ideas and wedding like topics in general. So I went into Answer Socrates and I was like, okay, I'm going to write some articles about wedding dresses because as a wedding photographer, maybe I can then showcase some of my, bridal portraits I've taken with beautiful girls in beautiful dresses, all the things. So I typed in wedding dress. It's going to ask you if you have a specific country or language you want to focus on. It is going to give me boxes and boxes of questions based on like the question keyword. So like are, can I, can, how do, should I, what, when, where, who, why, which, will. And then I can actually export these as well into like a file. Some of the example questions they give you. Are wedding dresses always white? Are wedding dress prices negotiable? Can I bring a wedding dress on a plane? If you are a destination wedding photographer or destination wedding planner or anything, that is a great article to write. Can a wedding dress be rented? Can it be altered? Should I go wedding dress shopping alone? Should I buy a wedding dress online? How long should my wedding dress be? How do wedding dress sample sales work? What wedding dress should I get quiz? That would be a fun like lead magnet idea. Um, should my wedding dress be white? There's another one. Should my wedding dress cover my shoes? Let's see. There's just a bunch on here. And so I can take these and I can go, okay, there's a million different ideas here. Obviously, these are questions that brides are actually asking because these are the top questions that are being searched in a Google search bar. So I know that they are relevant. And I can then create content around these questions that is going to attract my audience. It's almost like having an inside track into what your ideal client is thinking. So this is the one that I like, if out of everything on this list, you need to be using this one. Answer Socrates. That's number 7. Number 8 is a tool that I have talked about and I love using for social media automations. It's called ManyChat. ManyChat, a lot of times I refer to it as like a keyword automation platform. It's sort of AI adjacent in the fact that I don't know that they would necessarily call themselves an AI tool, but I think it is because it's doing something on autopilot for me in my business. The way ManyChat works is you can set it up in a bunch of different ways. The way I use it is through social media. I connect it to like my Instagram page. And then I can set up all of these automations. So the most popular one that I use is keyword automation. So if you've seen my post or if you go to my Instagram and you see like my header images, they all say like comment the word pod and I'll send you a link to listen to the podcast. That is a keyword automation. So when someone comments on my post with the word pod, it sends them automatically a DM that I've created with links to where they can go and listen to the podcast. Now you can make this as simple as that, or I've seen people do it where they have like little like fun quizzes they send people in their DMs, and every time they answer a question, they get the next question, and then it'll tell them if they're right or wrong. You can get it as extreme as you want. You can use it for collecting email addresses. You can use it for entries to giveaways, and I mean, there's a million different ways you can use it. So ManyChat is a really, really good one if you're wanting to do a little bit more automation when it comes to your social media. Number 9 is a really fun new tool that I just came across recently because I was working on creating some social media ads. And someone had mentioned, I was talking to somebody in a Facebook group that I'm in, and they were like, well, have you used Ad Creative? And I was like, no, what is Ad Creative? So I went and like spent a whole afternoon learning how to use it, and it's awesome. So it's called, like I said, adcreative.ai. What it can do well, let me rephrase that. What I use it for is one of two things. One is I can look at what my competitors are doing. So there is a button on here called Competitor Insights where I can type in someone else's website. Let's just say, for the sake of this, I'm using Jenna Kutcher. So I type in Jenna Kutcher's website. It is going to give me a full breakdown of her website. So it's going to tell me things like what percentage of her followers are coming from organic organic traffic versus like paid traffic or social media traffic. Are her primarily, male or female, what age range are coming there, what's their education level, what's their traffic journey. So it's like what are the top traffic sources that are sending people to her website. What are her social media use looks like, what certain pages on her website get the most traffic, what countries, I mean, like there's so many information. It also gives you ads. So, what ads has she run that are actually doing really, really well? It kind of gives you like the top three of her ads. And so then I can go and be like, oh, okay, well, this ad's doing really well. So now inside of ad creative, because that's what I'm there to do is create ad content, I can then use that as sort of a template for an ad that I would like to create for my product, my service, my lead magnet, whatever. So then I get into the ad creation part of this website. So in here, they have an inspiration gallery. I can type in an industry and it's going to give me tons and tons of ads that have performed really well. And I can use those again as templates or kind of a starting point. I can also create a brand like assets. So what's really cool here is I can go in, I can type in my website and it will automatically pull a lot of my assets from my website. So it can grab a logo, it can grab the colors, it can get an idea of like if there's taglines, things like that. And then I can kind of tweak it if I need to like change anything that didn't grab or modify the things that it did grab. And it's going to help you create ad assets that are going to hopefully perform really well. And then you can also, like, once you've created them, you can link it to your ads account. So, like your Google ads or your Facebook ads, and it will help track the performance of those ads. So, if you're someone who runs social media ads or Google ads, this is a really cool tool to start using to not only help you improve your ad assets, your graphics, your copy, all that kind of stuff, but to also look at what are other people in your industry doing that are working really well. How can you apply that to your ads? And then can you like score your ads and figure out like what do I need to be changing or tweaking? So it's a really, really cool tool, especially like I said, if you're into creating a lot of like social media ads and things like that. And then last but not least, number 10 is a website called Tidio, Tidio. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It sounds weird when I say it out loud, but it is a chatbot builder. Now, before I lose you on that phrase chatbot builder, hear me out. One, it is super simple. It's drag and drop. You do not need to know anything about tech or coding or any of that kind of stuff to build this. Secondly, if you're thinking, I don't need a chatbot, chatbots are not for me, my business is super small, here's the thing. We need to have an open mind. I want you to have an open mind because I thought that way for a while too. I was like, oh, chatbots, like that's just for like huge websites that have like a support team and things like that. But when you think about the user experience, people want information. People want to feel like they are getting a customized experience when they come to your website or your landing page. Having a chatbot can help do that. So let me give you an example of how you might use a chatbot for a small business. I'm going to use a photographer. I'm going to use my photography business. So let's say that I have my website up and I've decided I'm going to add a chatbot because I want my audience, my clients, my potential clients to feel like they are getting as much information ahead of time as possible. So I'm going to build out a chatbot so that when they come to my website, after a couple seconds, a little box pops up in the bottom corner that says, do you have any questions? Or can I help you with anything? And maybe I even say, like, give it a couple of sample questions. Like maybe one of the questions is, what type of sessions do you offer? Or what is your pricing? Or, you know, do you offer hair and makeup with your sessions? And so it kind of gives them a couple of sample questions, or they can type in a question. You have to do some of the back end work on this because obviously, like, you have to kind of anticipate what people might ask based on keywords. So let's say someone comes there, like, they type in a question that says, I need a branding session, but I don't know what location I should use. Based on those keywords, I can then say, like, have an automated response that says, awesome. I'm so excited that you're interested in a brand session. Here are some of my favorite ideas for locations for your brand session. And I can list some out. So now, not only have they felt like they get a personalized experience, they're getting information. What are the chances they're going to book me over just the random photographer who only has like a landing page with some basic information on it? Because in 2024, I fully believe that the client experience, which I've recently shared an episode on this, The client experience has got to be stepped up a notch. That is what people are looking for. People are looking for interactive ways to learn more about your business. They are looking for personalized and customized, and how can I utilize this brand over another brand? And so when you think of it like that, the chatbot is nothing really scary. It's more of another tool that you can use to create this incredible client experience. All right, so those are the 10 AI tools that I feel like a lot of us can be using in our business. Now, I'm not saying you need all 10. Obviously, pick and choose the ones that you want to kind of dive into, but they are all linked down in the show notes. But I do highly recommend that you start playing around with some of these AI features because, as I said, way back when at the beginning of this episode, this is what's going to set your business apart from all the ones who are just kind of stuck staying in the same place. AI is the future of marketing and business. And so the sooner you kind of get on board with that, the more likely you are to stay above your competition. So hopefully these are some that you can start playing around with. Like I said, they're all linked below. If you use one and you absolutely fall in love with it, I would love to know. Send me a message over on Instagram at Girl Means Business. Let me know which ones you're already using. If you have some that you are excited to dive into and learn more about, I would love to hear. Or if you have one you're using that I didn't talk about, please, please, please share it with me because I love that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for being here again this week. I will see you back here next week, same time, same place. Thanks again for tuning into this week's episode. Don't forget to leave a review and follow us on socials at Girl Means Business. See you next week.